Dean and Sam have battled many dangerous creatures on Supernatural. From bloodsuckers and shapeshifter to horrific monsters and powerful demons, here is a look at the 30 most powerful supernatural creatures, officially ranked. Number 30. Changelings. Imagine waking up one morning and your kid is a creepy monster.
I'm not sure that Katie is... Katie. What?
That's what happens to the parents in second episode of season 3. The changeling is a legend from European mythology. They are monsters that replaces a stolen child. This is the same on Supernatural. In their natural state, they are discolored with hollow eyes and a rounded mouth, which is full of teeth. They can appear human, but their true nature is revealed in reflection.
Ben, it's okay, I'm gonna get you out of here, okay?
The changeling mother whisks the stolen children away to an underground lair and feeds on them while the young changelings feed on the mothers.
Changelings can drain them for a few weeks before Mom finally croaks.
They are stronger than humans, but they can be beaten by fire as well as by eliminating the changeling mother. Number 29. Ghosts and Poltergeists.
There's a dark energy around here. This room should be the center of it.
Poltergeists are unique spirits that seek attention through sometimes violent and deadly actions. They are always invisible and do not appear able to become visible. Poltergeists were once human like ghosts were too. Also, human spirits can become poltergeists. They are sometimes attracted to places where beings of great evil manifested. On the other hand, ghosts are the spirits of the deceased who were unable to move on to heaven or hell and are stuck on earth.
No, don't!
What? Why?
Because I know who it is.
They are not always bad and sometimes work to help humans in times of need.
Get out of my house.
And let go of my son.
Number 28. Ricotta. Ricotta can use the voices of loved ones to lure victims into traps that it has set up. They are based on a mythological monster from India. According to legend, they were animal-like creatures that could mimic human speech and then attack and eat their victims. It is commonly described in legend as luring people by calling their name, drawing them deeper into the forest until it can devour them.
A crocotta.
That a sandwich?
Subcontinent scavenger, mimics loved ones, whispers "come to me," then lures you into the dark and swallows your soul.
In the modern age, at least one Ricotta has evolved to contact people by phone or computer.
No.
They can imitate the voice of a loved one and tries to convince its victim to commit suicide or come to them, so it could kill them and swallow the victim's soul.
I'm coming.
Hunter can beat them by stabbing them in the back of the neck. Number 27. Rugarou. Rugarous are born and live as human for all intents and purposes, typically being unaware of their condition, but at a certain age, around 30, they will suddenly begin craving large quantities of food. This condition is passed down genetically. The change starts out with an increased hunger for all food, but quickly transforms into a powerful craving for flesh, specifically human. They transform completely and fast.
Your father was one of these things. Your real father. He passed it on to you.
One bite's all it takes. Eyes, teeth, skin, it all turns. No going back, either. They feed once, they're a monster forever. There is a theory that Rugarous can potentially reverse their genetic curse, but they'd have to swear off meat forever. The call to eat meat is extremely strong and is practically impossible to ignore. Number 26. Sirens. The legend of the Sirens goes back to Greek mythology, where the monstrous women would sing enticing songs to lure sailors to their doom. When it comes to supernatural, the legend was brought to land, where these beings now use their voices to lure people to their end.
I really feel like you should get him out of the way so that we can be brothers.
In the supernatural universe, they are not beautiful in their natural state, as they are hairless and barely human-looking. They are able to take on multiple forms to deceive their prey, usually transforming into a person that matches their victim's desire, such as a lover, friend, or anything else that person may long for. They can then tempt them to betray their loved ones. Unlike many monsters, sirens do not technically feed on humans. Instead, they feel an intense rush of pleasure when their victims carry out atrocities against other loved ones. It takes a bronze dagger coated in the blood of their victim to defeat a siren. Number 25. Soul Eaters.
A soul eater? What the hell is that?
Undead creature that feeds on souls, hence the name.
Soul Eaters are ancient creatures that live in another dimension. They feed on human souls after they drag them from the physical world into their nest. Once the souls are dragged there, they are trapped forever and remain there even if their body perishes. Soul Eaters appeared as humanoids with a long black cloak, a somewhat distorted face, and black, empty eyes. According to conventional lore, Soul Eaters couldn't be killed. A Celtic sigil could trap one, but they were otherwise thought to be invulnerable to harm. However, the men of letters found a sigil that could kill a Soul Eater if it was painted in both the Soul Eater's nest and the house the Soul Eater inhabited. Number 24. Windigo. One of the earliest monsters introduced on Supernatural was the Windigo. They come from the Algonquin mythology and are cannibalistic creatures that can possess humans. Although their name is described as an evil spirit, it is technically a creature. Wendigos were once humans, but after being forced to eat human flesh to survive, they become monsters that retain little of the human features they once possessed. After their transformation, they begin to crave human flesh and feed solely on it. These are some of the most difficult creatures to eliminate. It takes fire to end the life of a Wendigo. The problem is that they are very fast, very smart, and avoid the heat. Anasazi symbols can keep them at bay and protect individuals from becoming prey. Number 23. The Scarecrow. The Scarecrow was a monster that appeared in the first season of Supernatural in an episode of the same name. As expected, this is a living scarecrow in a field that takes its victims by luring them from the road. The Scarecrow also seemed unbeatable, as Dean's gun had no effect on it. The Scarecrow turned out to be a manifestation of the Norse god Vanir. The townspeople in the town in which it resided then sacrificed strangers to it in order to keep their community blessed. The only way to destroy this monster is to burn the sacred tree that gave it power. Number 22. Rakshasa. For everyone who hates clowns, the Rakshasa can be pretty scary. These are Hindu creatures that feed a few times every 20 to 30 years. If its appearance isn't obvious enough, this monster is also probably a reference to Stephen King's Pennywise in It. These are creatures that eat human flesh, sleep on deceased insects, and can shape-shift to appear as humans, mostly clowns. They have superhuman strength and speed. They can also become invisible. However, they can't enter a home without an invitation. The one in Supernatural appeared as a clown at the fair who would follow children home, get the child to let them into the house, and then eat the parents. They are invulnerable to everything except brass. Number 21. Diva. The Diva is a savage and animalistic demon that appeared in the first season of Supernatural. The one thing that holds back the Diva is that they have to be summoned or conjured. However, they will attack the person who summons them as well as the target they are sent after. Similar to hellhounds and unlike most demons, these demons do not need a host to attack humans. They are invisible, but their shadows are not. Mostly, they are used as tools by powerful demons in order to take out their enemies. They can teleport and have super strength, as well as dangerous claws. Since they are demons, they won't perish, but light can repel them and black magic can control them. Number 20. Strega. The Strega is based on an Albanian myth that dates all the way back to ancient Rome. They are similar to witches, but instead, Strega feed on a person's spiritus vitae, which is their life force. Once a person loses this, their immune system weakens. In Supernatural, they mostly feed off children's life force. By feeding off life force, the Strega can live for an extended period of time. By day, a Strega can shift into a human, so that hunters won't be able to detect the creature. While Sam said that the Strega are invulnerable to all weapons made by men and God, this was not entirely true. If caught feeding on someone, they are vulnerable to consecrated iron, and while it won't end them, it will cause them to flee. Number 19. Witches.
Shadows, we kneel before you. Let us serve your master.
The witches on Supernatural are pretty much the same type of witches that we see on other horror TV shows, movies, and books. They cast spells by connecting to supernatural forces and can communicate with spirits.
Who are you? Remember all those dark demonic forces you prayed to when you swore your servitude? Just who did you think you were praying to? You sold yourself to me, you pig.
The origin of witchcraft remains unknown. However, it is believed that witches have existed since the beginning of humanity, passing down their knowledge and skills through generations of family lines. As Sam said, what makes them dangerous is that they can be anyone, and it is impossible to know who is and isn't a witch. The power of a witch is dependent on both their source of magic and their knowledge and training. A witch can be either female or male, as they commune with the natural forces and channel them in order to practice magic. Witches can be extremely long-lived and very powerful. Number 18. Ghouls. Ghouls are alpha-level monsters that feed on the flesh of the deceased and live in graveyards. After this, they take the form of their victim and then seek out their next target. There are also times when ghouls will feed on the living, and they can take on the forms of their victims, even if the victim is still alive. They can also change back to a former form if they desire. They have super speed, strength, agility, and senses, all higher than normal humans. They are also indestructible, though they can be decapitated and are weak to brain damage. Ghouls might be a type of jinn, but they are not that powerful. Number 17. Arachne. As their name suggests, arachnes are spider-based creatures on Supernatural, although they take the form of a human. They can create strong webs like spiders to trap their victims. They can also turn a human into an arachne by biting them in order to propagate their species. Arachnes can even kill humans with poisoning through their bites. It is implied that they feed upon human flesh. Due to their multiple eyes, their field of vision is split into several images. They have powers of a spider, including strength, agility, speed, and super senses. They are also vulnerable to most weapons and fire, but one sure way to end them is by chopping off their heads. Number 16. Werewolves. Werewolves in Supernatural are exactly what most fans of horror fiction expect. Werewolves, also known as lycanthropes, are a race of partially human supernatural creatures, able to morph into a combination of human and wolf. They are carnivores and many eat humans. Most legends are correct, as they can turn humans into werewolves with one bite. In the early stages, it can sometimes be cured with a transfusion of live blood from the sire werewolf. The most powerful werewolves are purebloods, which are close to the alpha level. They can transform at will and can control their animal side better than regular werewolves. Silver and decapitation are two of the only ways to eliminate a werewolf. Stay tuned for more powerful creatures in Part 2. Thank you for watching.
Don't you cry no